because they all designed to keep that godly black baby from reaching their full potential.
Bro, Supreme, hey, you already pulled up, locked in, man. Hey, I'm loving this, bro. Man, these babies in today's time, bro, they're so intelligent. And one thing that I love, they're just like unapologetically themselves. And recently we saw a young black messiah, Caleb Wilson, same name as me. And his killer, his name was Caleb as well, oddly enough. But he was pledging Q-Dog, Omega Psi Phi, Southern University. I have friends who were Q-Dogs, who have pledged all of that stuff. I've seen one friend actually denounce it earlier this week. And I was like, dang, it's like that.
He was with him and he denounced it.
He denounced him. And bro, he was president of his chapter. He was like older than me, like 3 years older than me. He was heavy into it, bro. He was pulling up the homecoming. He was branded. For young kids now, how should they approach trying to join social clubs? Because these babies now are first gen, sometimes college students. How should they approach trying to join social circles in this talented 10th mindset? Is it possible to mend both worlds, or how do you feel about that?
Okay, so I'm a HBCU baby.
Okay.
I came from Jersey, and one of the things that I fell in love with Atlanta was the amount of black intelligence, power, and wealth that was blooming here.
That's right.
So when I got taken by my crisis intervention counselor on a college tour,
wow,
and I saw Morehouse, I said I could be here. They had to pull some strings to get me in because my GPA was so low.
But they made it happen.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. James
That's
Johnson. Yeah, College Preparatory Incentive Program. He made us wear a shirt and tie every Wednesday because we was the kids that was in trouble for me, not going to class and just being in trouble. Like I was a little delinquent. He brought me on this college tour. That was also my first time speaking, thanks to him, because the school board tried to take our graduation away because we had missed some days, and they didn't want to excuse them because we went to black colleges. Wow. And I had to and that was my first time at 16 having to speak against the school board, and that was my first time speaking truth to power, and it was in a black church, and I heard an amen and a hallelujah in the background when I got to go in, and I just got to going in like extra heavy, like I started to say, what? They put their battery in my back, and I had some juice now, and I was like, this is the best feeling in the world, because all I'm doing is telling the truth. Mm-hmm. I'm telling the truth, but the truth is celebrated. Like, you know how many spaces in which the truth is not celebrated, and the truth teller get to feeling crazy? They'll gaslight you into thinking that you're a whole nut because you just tell the truth. And so you got to learn how to tell the truth slicker and smarter and cooler and more charismatic, or do like I did and get a doctorate. Mm-hmm. So that you got letters behind your name so that people take you seriously when you're saying the same thing that your homeboy on the corner can say. But he say with rough language, so then nobody don't want to listen to him. He intimidate people because he got too much melanin and too much adrenaline. Mm-hmm. So that's scared too many people. He might be 6'3", 280. They don't think nothing wise can come out of this man's mouth. No. So they already got him pigeonholed. So then I ended up becoming a bridge for that's really ever since I was in Jersey. They said like, yo, go to college, go to Morehouse, because you're gonna be able to do good work that other people can't do. So we need you to do this job. So I was always like on a mission. Yeah. So I went to Morehouse, and despite being homeless one of them years, I graduated with honors and made really good friends from all walks of life in that space, because Morehouse is part of the AUC, which includes Spelman, which is all women, and Clark Atlanta, which is mixed, and Morris Brown, we got to give them a shout out too, and the Interdenominational Theological Seminary.
Nobody shouts them out. Yeah, you're right, bro.
There was some warriors being produced out of there, man. You got to realize these is black theologians that are going to go on to lead congregations. You better hope they got some political consciousness. Why would you not make sure that you on their campus too, talking to them, or make sure they pulling up to your events? Yeah. So I was them class of 01. Wow. So this was a charged class. Like this, everybody from that time period still building, still doing great work in all different fields and sectors, including people that's in fraternities and sororities, right? And if they get the chance to really be truthful, I think the main thing they would say is the bond that you break by suffering together and all that's real. Rites of passage is a real thing. Community is a real thing. Networking is a real thing. Having a code of working with people like your tribe, that's a thing. The worst thing is your rites of passage shouldn't involve abuse. Abuse is like what we go through in our own households, where we beat our kids because we got beat. We just passing down the way we got it because we don't think anybody should have it softer than us. I used to be like this. Like as a 5%, I used to be like, well, you can't be no 5% unless you've already been through this kind of hell and been through that and felt like this. And nah, because if you can see the truth and you're ready to teach the truth and you're going to live and die behind the truth, you shouldn't have had to got abused to see it. Just because I went through some hell. My hell don't got to be yours. And so there's ways that the new Black Panther Party, when Brother Khalid Muhammad was doing that out here, they had their initiations.
Wow.
They might have had to stay on post and be outside all night and not go to sleep because they protecting the block. But the motive and the mission was different. Imagine if all the fraternities sent their men out to post up on the corners of the worst neighborhoods in America and said, this is how you go. It's going to be 2 of y'all on every corner. 2 of y'all just keeping post. Don't let the other one go to sleep. That's a different level of training. That's a different level of representation. And it's a hardship that you look back at and be like, yo, remember when we used to have to be on that corner every day and the crackheads used to be doing this and then they used to be driving by real slow and making us nervous and we used to be yeah. But then, you remember that old lady that we helped and remember them kids? All them kids used to love us, man. That's some good bonding for a person to mature into elderhood with that. You know, just getting spanked and paddled. That's Greek, bro. Yeah. That's Greek to us. Like that's not none of our way. Yeah. Getting beaten with spatulas and all that. That's like mixing up your child abuse with some BDSM from slavery. And there's nobody that's gonna be like, yeah, we really need that. Because if you're gonna spar, if you wanna punch somebody in the chest, then everybody should be sparring, everybody should be boxing, but within a weight class. Shouldn't be nobody 6 feet punching nobody 4 feet tall. I don't even know what happened, but I just know that you know what I mean? There's easy ways to prevent a lot of shit.
And he stopped his heartbeat. Yeah. And he died from that. That's crazy. They tried to move his body to a warehouse, I think. Tried to hide that. And hearing like those details, bro, that threw me off because I'm like, how is that brotherhood? How is this love? And it's like, I kill you, but then I'm trying to cover it up. And then, oh, dude, the other Caleb, it's like, where's all the other Q dogs? Because y'all was involved. Y'all was around. So seeing that is just very hypocritical because I'm like, we can't talk about, like you said, rising and raising young black messiahs, but then we're also killing them too. Even in the safest, quote unquote, safest spaces, which are supposed to be colleges, fraternities, sororities, and dying, pledging. I don't know about that one.
This ain't the first time somebody done died pledging.
Hey, we got whole movies about this.
Man, there's a whole lot of that to happen.
On Netflix, yeah.
And then there's people that's already like in frail health. You got to also know yourself. Like,
that is true.
Like if you know how many punches you can take, you got an idea. Yeah. I'm not saying no disrespect to anybody that go through it, but like don't get into nothing that you ain't.
Trying to like overly push yourself.
Yeah. Like if you know you ain't supposed to be doing no polar bear swim, then don't do that. If you know your heart might not handle that, don't do that. Yeah. Everything ain't for everybody.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and absolutely. Yeah. Because there's plenty of people that they didn't go in that direction, but they still formed a brotherhood. I know people that they rap together, started record labels together at Morehouse. Wow. Still close to this day, going to each other's weddings and all that. So it's really like you can build family however you want to. You got to know what's good for you. You know, and man, tribalism is not the worst thing. It's just that we're not supposed to become tribalized to hate each other and to put this ambiguous, bigger program over values that we already know within ourselves to be right. Sometimes you got to be the one to speak up for the value because the program might be leaking some kind of way. Yeah. That's how change keep getting pushed along because those that got strong values impact others. And it really don't even have to be you attending the meeting and you speaking up in the middle of the meeting. It's all about how many people's hearts you speak into. Because the wicked is doing that all day, every day. They going amongst your meetings, your groups, and they spreading their thoughts. Like that's in the Old Testament, Satan is described as a whisperer. Ooh. You know, you speak with a forked tongue.
Soothing.
Not a snake, but a serpent. Wow. You know, somebody that just can tell you what you want to hear. And so if you go to enough people that's dissatisfied and start telling them, this is why your group is messed up. This is why your leadership is bad. This is why this ain't it. You know what you should be able to do. You know how you can, like you should take down the leader and you should be the leader.
Yep.
That's happening at every group and every organization. So this is why you got to study history, so you be aware of it before it happened to you and yours.